Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings today. Ever since the case of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu came up, there had been multiple moves from both the traditional rulers and in the geopolitical zone to see how they can get a political solution for him to be released from detention. And it is believed that during this period, that all the agitating groups, as Biafra agitating groups, should come together and see how they can foster a future for themselves so that they can actualize their long-term dream of Biafra Republic. But shockingly, what is happening now is, so amazing. Amazing in the sense that the Biafra groups, talking about the agitating groups, tend to be fighting against each other. And right now, there are two groups that is really in the eyes of the media, and it has to do with that of Asari Dakubo and also IPOB. You will hear some of the revelations that they are coming up with, and which also point to the fact that things are not just perfect as it should be. But before we give you full details of this, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by hitting on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. All right, let's look at the news in detail. And according to the news, the Biafra de facto customary government Secretary of Information and Communication Uche Okafor Mefo on Sunday said the members of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, were warned not to carry weapons, but IPOB refused. Mefo said this to Vanguard in Owerri regarding the level of killings in the southeastern region. According to Mefo, trouble started in the southern region when IPOB adopted a violent approach by going into struggling weapons contrary to the original non-violent ideology upon which IPOB was formed. He was of the view that IPOB armed struggle was what led to so many deaths of innocent Igbos. Therefore, he called on the IPOB group to take responsibility for the hacking down of people that have been going on in Igbo land, alleging that they were the groups that brought the issues in the region. In his word, as captured, he read thus. He said, Biafra de facto customary government is fully aware of the antics and the ridiculous subterfuge of the IPOB faction under Nnamdi Kanu and their foot soldiers. With these in mind, we begin by asking the fake pseudonym they call Emma Powerful and his criminally minded gang members in the DOS under Chika, Edoziem of the faction of the indigenous people of Biafra led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to stop diverting attentions and take responsibility and ownership of the mess, specifically the crime against humanity, the violence, the horror, and the cannibalism that brought to Biafran land and especially in Igbo land. They disappointed our people and betrayed their trust by adopting violence and armed struggling as official policy, turn their weapons against the innocent, vulnerable people rather than the enemy, and subsequently and ultimately endanger the lives of Biafrans and their properties, contrary to the original nonviolent ideology upon which IPOB was founded on. Ask Emma Powerful, Chinasa Nworu, and Chika Edoziem, who brought the insecurity in Igbo land of Biafran land to the level it is today. The evidence is overwhelming and is everywhere in online videos and prints on the streets of Igbo land and Radio Biafra stroke IPOP community radio broadcasts involving their members, their leaders and followers. We warn them that their misguided actions would be empowering our oppressors to continue to bring down our people, and that the consequences of such their action would be indeterminate, including heavy militarization of Biafra land. We further warn them that the Nigerian state cannot be bringing down our people, and they also will turn around and join them to be committing the same heinous crime against our people. Today, we are vindicated and proved right. Once again, a more powerful and his misguided colleagues led by Chika, Edoziem, and Chinasa Nwuru must be bold enough to take responsibility and stop the hypocrisy, sophistry, and finger pointing. All right. Now, you've heard what he said, that virtually everything happening in Igbo land is traceable to the activities of IPOB. Now, but one of the things that is most notable about Ima Powerful is always coming up to speak about anything that they have no hands in. And we have been seeing that happen over and over again. And not just happening alone, but to some extent, it has been proven right that most of the things that he said they were not involved in, truly, they were not involved in. But another thing is that I'm just wondering, why is it happening now that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in prison? Now, before now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when he was in, UK, doing a lot of broadcasts and all of that, the likes of Mefo, at the point, they did not talk again. Sorry, Dakubo, though he was always talking, but it wasn't as, apprehensive or as strong as it is today. We've listened, if you've been listening, you hear a lot of his videos. He's been talking, and you still see him, talking about the issue of Biafra, that they've messed up the whole thing and all of that, this and that is extorting money, and so you now realize that the war, the federal government, who is trying to stop the activity of IPOB, they have the federal government called the terrorist group. But you notice that federal government seems to be having a partner here who is also a Biafra agitating group. You understand? And people are wondering, why is it coming up now? Now, in the sense that just yesterday we heard the Northerners demanding to know who brought down, Gulag. Why are these people saying now? I'm talking about this group of people. Why are they, this Biafra agitating group, talking about Biafra de facto customary government? Why are they now talking about, that Biafra is behind it? You know, so it kind of putting words in the mouth of the IGP, kind of to say, IGP, if you want to start your investigation about the things that have been happening in our land, first of all, you have to follow up on these guys called IPOB, because they have been involved in a lot of nefarious activities and all of that. So, which kind of will make the investigation, one way. Don't forget that there are other people who have been finger pointed that they were behind some of the absurd things happening in Southeast. And, this issue of fighting one another will not augur fine. It won't end well, because if the agitating groups begin to fight against each other, automatically their dream of realizing Biafra will be delayed. Delayed, I tell you. And most, if they are fighting Iran, the federal government, who have the ultimate power also in ruling over Nigeria, are also standing against the activities. Therefore, means the future seems very bleak right now. A wise man will think of how to put his house in order so that he can, achieve what he's desiring to achieve. What makes up a kingdom is the unity, and also being purposefully driven. But if there's anything that is dividing the house, automatically it can't stand. Such house cannot stand. So right now, what I'm seeing is that Biafra agitators kind of divided, and if they kick-started by fighting against each other like that, then the future may not be what most of them have been expecting. I like to leave it there. The accusation thrown by Mefo, do you think it is true? Let's